Hi students, welcome to e-commerce video lecture. Last 4 lectures we are discussing about EDI, electronic data interchange. In this video, 5th lecture, we are discussing about EDI implementation, EDI software implementation. Whenever any software is going to implement, what are the stages? Each stage in detail we will discuss. Okay, there are 9 stages are there. One is developing the structure of EDI organization. Suppose you are distribution organization, medical distribution organization. So your clients are wholesale retail shops, and another client is from the manufacturers. So what are the documents you are going to receive from the wholesale and retail shops, as well as what are the documents you have to send to manufacturers, and what are the in written documents you have to get from the manufacturer, as well as payment gateways you have to provide to the retail wholesaler manufacturer. So according to the organization, structure will be different. According to the structure, EDI structure of also we have to design that one. So develop or design the structure of the organization. Next, in-depth analysis. We have to take in-depth analysis. Each from the point 0.0001 to 100, everything to be analyzed. Develop a business-focused EDI solution. Now, after understanding the business, different documents we have to generate, we have to link each other, and we have to develop a communication software. Next, select EDI network provider from WAN or web EDI, mobile EDI, from which protocol or which service provider we are going to connect. Okay. There are EDI is intra and inter within the organization, with the other organizations also possible. Integrate EDI with the business. Now we have to link the business documents with the EDI and integrate data across the business, data mapping, testing, and implementation. Rollout means running the EDI with the business partners. These are the steps in implementation of EDI software. Okay, first one, developing the EDI structure of EDI organization. So, investment and developing the correct organizational structure from the outset will pay dividends as the program evolves. Some of the key elements are like this. Okay, so we have to develop a correct organizational structure from bottom to top, top to bottom. The communication channels, how the communication will flow from top to bottom and bottom to top. We have to develop that one. Correct structure we have to develop. Later we have to appoint an EDI coordinator, an IT professional with in-depth experience in delivering the EDI. So once we were given a structure, means a building plan, a plan was written on the paper, building plan is written on the paper, then we will ask the mansion to execute that project, who can construct the building. In same manner, we have to appoint a coordinator who is IT professional, who is having experience in construction, developing a EDI. The coordinator may come from in-house or be hired externally depending upon the EDI resources of the organization. So you can appoint a IT professional by the organization, or you can hire the EDI professional from other organization, or you can take the resources, help of the other organizations also. So the first step in developing structure of organization, we have to appoint an IT professional as a coordinator who can manufacture or who can develop EDI software. Later, steering committee, headed by EDI coordinator. This committee typically consists of the department heads of business units, head of the IT, legal representatives. Now, the EDI coordinator will look after how to design the documents and how to convert those documents into EDI formats, and whether the EDI formats readily available according to the EDI standards, and he will explain to the committee. That committee, which consists of business heads means finance head, HR head, marketing head, sales head, okay, purchases accounts head, all these, and information technology head, as well as a legal representative who will look at the legal formalities of the documents and content. Next, senior management sponsor. With any major IT program, senior management committee is critical. The EDA implementation is to be success. Okay. So a experienced person will look after everything. That's why we have to appoint a senior management personnel and a dedicated EDI team. Once this IT professional is understood about the EDI structure, then he will appoint his team who is responsible for the implementation of the system. So that team will generate a software which will be useful to the organization to communicate within and with the other organizations. Step one is developing a structure of organization. And step two is undertake in-depth analysis. Corporate applications and documents for EDI deployment sets priorities for conversion to EDI. So each document according to the EDI standards, international and national EDI standards, and they will look after them and prioritize them, and how to convert them into EDI format. We have to take up a in-depth analysis. Factors to be considered include the number of suppliers, customers, and trading partners, the volume and the type of transactions to be exchanged. So, in this analysis, we have to identify who are our suppliers, who are our customers, who are our trading partners, and what is the number of documents exchange per minute or per second or per hour, and what type of transactions we are exchanging. That will be taken up very clearly and thoroughly. It includes a description of the present system in each functional area and an explanation of how EDI will improve them. Okay, all we are related to accounts. So, what is our present system functional in accounting? So, a transaction is there. That transaction will be converted into journal entry format. Those journal entries were posted into ledger accounts. With the help of the ledger accounts, balances of ledger accounts, trial balance will be prepared, and from the trial balance, they were prepared final accounts. So a separate software is there, that is Tally, and we will ask the account head, okay, what is your requirements? Then account head is explaining that. So once the invoice is generated, I need automatically journal entry will be generated, and that journal entry will be linked with Tally voucher entry. So EDI, now the IT head who is developing EDI should have to be look at first he have to understand the invoice. Later, he has to input the rules and regulations of accounting. Later, that will be scanned and that will be converted into journal entry. Converted journal entry is communicated with the Tally software through some technical systems, and Tally automatically post into or prepared as a journal entry. Okay. So these to be, first we have to listen from the accounts head, accounts functional area head, what is his explanation and how EDI will work and what are the improvements he is needed from this system. We have to listen from him. The generation and receipt of each type of business document is based on a system of human and machine procedures. Yes, exactly. Okay. Earlier, a ledger was prepared in bank in physical form with the same columns. At present, banks are preparing automatic ledger preparation, and that was shared with or saved in the drives and for further reference. Okay. Generation and receipt of each type of business document is based on a system of human and machine procedures. So, at what level human being intervention is there, and at what level onwards machine will taken part or machine will process, that should be explained. Okay. So in this EDI Tally, suppose Tally, last semester we understood Tally. Human intervention is up to passing journal entry only, creation of ledger accounts and passing journal entry only. Machine will do that posting, trial balance preparation, final accounts preparation, and preparation of reports, calculation of reserves. Everything will be taken by the machines. Here to understand what are the documents which we can generate and we have to receive, and what is their types, and how they were with the up to level, at what level they are at human intervention or human being will be prepared, and at what level onwards the procedure, machine procedures will continue. That should be coordinated or in depth, it has to be explained to the IT coordinator. And the goal should be to improve the business cycle rather than simply automate it. Okay. Automation is nothing but a computerization. It is not, computerization is not a automation. It is improving the business cycle. Business cycle in the sense from invoice to goods received and delivery challan, and till that how the process will be completed within time with 100% perfection. That is a in-depth analysis. Second step, that is. Third one, develop a business focused EDI solution. Okay. So you are a manufacturer, you are a distributor, and what is your which type of EDI or EDI to distributor, EDI to manufacturer, EDI to bank, like that. We have to develop a business type EDI. The volume of expected EDI traffic and IT infrastructure need to be support. Okay. So whenever we are developing a solution, and depends upon the uh, traffic, EDI traffic in the sense sharing of documents from system to system, and infrastructure in the sense, okay, modems, computers, and communication devices are very important. The capacity of the internal network infrastructure to support EDI data. Okay, once we developed the EDI, and internal communication network are to be supported. So if it is 2G or it is communication with cable wire broadband, and depends upon their speed, the volume may be affected itself. The network connections needed to manage traffic with the trading partners. When we are connecting with the other partners, and we should have to be keep in our mind, other people's network is also to be integrated with us to free flow of communication. The programming required to ensure that internal systems comply with the data required by trading partners and with the EDI standards. So before Office 2017, and we faced some little experience with the documents. Usually, when we are using 97 and the operating system 2000 was introduced, operating system 2000 was installed. Along with that, Office 2000 is also installed. So those who are using Office 97, and the Office 97 documents we cannot able to open in 2000. So my trading partners document formats or data is different with me, then the communication will, it is a barrier of communication between two. So the format should be same or comply with the trading partners software or EDI standards. The amount of customizing required to integrate the internal and EDI systems. Suppose most of the documents were supplied by EDI standard organizations, and when we want to design the documents or customizing the documents or the documents will be less or reduced to maximum extent by using the standard formats. Okay, right. Next, selecting a EDI network provider. EDI network provider should be focused on business requirements rather than the provider's technical capabilities. Selecting a network provider, we have to consider the important issues. Number one, provider's reachability. So, provider can having a network in only India, or his network is available throughout the world or not. We have to, because today we are dealing with the Indian companies, tomorrow our business may grow and we may deal with the foreign countries also. Then we should not go for other EDI network partner. So only some changes in our network, we can be able to connect with the global net traders. Pricing structure, at what price you will supply the network. Technical support, whether any person is available with us to resolve issues arising during using the software, and features, what may be the features they are having. So you people can understand, I think you had an experience with operating system XP and operating system Windows 10. Both are, the features are different. So the more features we are getting in Windows 10 compared to XP. And before XP we had Windows 2000. Before 2097 is there. And we know the starting Windows is Windows 3.5. We used that Windows 3.5 also. So there is many changes or features are available in this operating system 10. Windows operating system 10. So before selecting the EDI network provider, so what are the features he is going to provide to us? Strong install base. Ken is having that capacity or experience of installing and operating and resolving such networks with any other business or traders, or in any area. That also important. We have to look at that one. Global presence. Okay. So whether he is having global presence or not, that is also important. Okay. So these are the points we have to keep in mind at step 4, that is selecting the EDI network partner. And integrate EDI with business. Okay, we selected EDI network partner and he developed the software. And for us, now he is installed the software. Whether it is integrated with our business or not is very important. So after purchasing necessary hardware or software to support EDI solution, a skilled EDI programming staff must next convert the requirements into reality, right? So now I entered the data in purchase order. I converted that purchase order into EDI document. Now I am communicating with my business trader who is in Kolkata. So whether it is reached to his inbox or not, that should be first checked by the skilled EDI programming staff who has to be with us until we understood about the software. The staff must be fully knowledgeable of EDI standards, in-house systems, communication protocols. The basic tasks that need to be performed include, okay? So whenever you are learning a car, you will be make understand about small mechanisms, because when you are running the car, if such sound is appeared, then you have to understand this sound is coming from particular device. So there may be a damage or there may be problem in particular junction or particular part. In same manner, this expert, the staff must be, we have to train our staff to understand EDI standards and EDI systems which we are using and communication protocols. If you don't know that one, then you will know up to only data entry. Then later problem solving time will be more, that leads to loss to the organization for taking business decisions. So those tasks are integrating EDI with the ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning System, which means extracting and loading data. Okay, we have to map with the retailer to the our manufacturer. All these should be mapped exactly. Creating EDI documents by mapping the extracted data to proper segments and data elements of the EDI transactions. Okay, so whenever I am taking the delivery challan when I am issuing, there I have to mention about payment details. So that payment details are automatically printed on the document once I paid the amount online. So my bank transaction details should be linked with the delivery challan, and that my total reference number, bank payment reference number to be printed. Okay. So the staff or EDA expert, skilled EDA expert should have to be mapped with the document, delivery challan document with the bank transaction. Okay. So installing and configuring the communication software for sending and receiving documents. That is the technical job of the staff. Okay. And data analysis portion of the mapping via EDI software and development of any custom interface programs or user exist. Okay. Prototyping methodologies. System prototypes are developed before systems are actually coded. Prototype in the sense of some trial versions, they are to be generated. A blank or filled with some data document is generated, transmitted, get the acknowledgement. That is called prototype development. Okay, so that is integration of EDI with the business. Next one is integrating data across the business. Okay, so if the business is having different locations, and the EDI expert should have to be mapped those locations, and those data sharing should be centralized data sharing, or decentralized data sharing. According to that, he has to map to store the data, retrieve the data. If you wish to use EDI for your purchase orders, first thing is to do is understand the data requirements of the order processing system. Okay, for creating a purchase order, what are the columns required? Those columns we have to, in the purchase order, what are the columns are there? We have to collect the data for that purchase order. And once we received invoice, we have to store the data which is available in the invoice. That is also important. So an important reason to analyze each affected business system is to ensure its ability to share data. So purchase order data is stored or integrated, and invoice data is also stored and integrated with our storage. And once the structure of the data required throughout the system is understood, and the EDI team can start data mapping. Okay. So according to the mapping, data will be stored. Data will be stored. Okay. So that's why what they have to do, they have to map the data, store the data, and given the link to retrieve the data for further use. That is integration. Another one is data mapping. Okay, so the columns which were filled up in those documents with a separate software that is called translation software, that data will be stored according to the formats which required for further analysis. So in our journal entry, and salaries were taken into salaries ledger, and every time salary either debit or credited, that will be added and deleted to the present balance. Whenever you are posting the journal entry, passing the journal entry, in the below the journal entry itself, you will find the balance amount. Just imagine how the data mapping was done in Tally software. Okay, that is called data mapping. Next, test the entire system. Test the entire system. EDI software is developed, and it was in-depth analysis, the organization structure drawn on the paper. In-depth analysis has been completed with the functional heads. Later, they will develop a software, and they will map that software, and they now the testing procedure. So they will install in one system, and later that was tested it many times. There are many updates you are getting for your phone as well as your computer. So what actually happened? They took out some of the features, and they developed that one, tested that one. They felt that it is 100% correct. Then that patch for upgrade was released, and people who wish to upgrade their mobile phones and laptops software system, they will click on that one, and they will enjoy the upgraded features. So for that purpose, they tested the software many times to make zero errors. Zero errors. Okay. Last one is rollout EDI to business partners. Once this implementation is over, testing is over, then automatically ask the company to use that software. Receive your purchase orders via EDI, return EDI invoices, that is. So that in this rollout, surveying your community to understand each supplier's level of EDI readiness. So we will ask the people to understand developing and implementing a community communication plan to convey your program goals and provide education needed. Community communication in the sense all traders of particular either transport or automotive, whoever it may be. Okay, offering various EDI options, web-based EDI, Excel-based EDI, okay, and supporting each supplier through startup, monitoring and troubleshooting, responding to inquiry from partners 24 by 7, and reporting on business partners activity and system usage, making updates to translation maps or communication protocols as your partners add new documents like that. Okay, so this is not a ending process, or it will stop at a point. It is a continuous one. Okay, documents may change, partners may change, and another one is communication protocols change. Standards are changing day by day. So all these to be integrated and upgraded every time, and develop we have to understand and develop certain procedures, protocols, and softwares, patches for answering those queries. Okay, students, there are 9 steps are there for implementation of EDI. EDI software implementation. One is we have to develop the structure. Later we have to take in-depth analysis, and we have to focus on business solutions, and later we have to select a network provider, and later that EDI is integrated with the business. That once the EDI is integrated, we have to integrate the data of all the business are where we are having, and later data is mapping, and later the system is tested, and now the EDI is have to run on the rollout on the systems itself. They will check all these steps before implementation of EDI software. Okay, students, bye.